Very short and quick video here, just showing you guys everything that I would do as the first officer. Very bad mic. I'm getting a USB hub so I can plug in my actual mic. But here we go. So we'll start with the electrical power-up sequence. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look around here and look at these CBs. I usually stand like this and then just see if any are popped out. If I see one that's popped out, I go to investigate. I can't do this. I can only do this on the max, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would be able to simulate that. I'm gonna look, make sure the gear pins are aboard. Usually down here are all of our log books, and we put QRHs, FCOMs. I actually have an AOM with me, a personal AOM from the airline. I was lucky enough to grab one. Up here, we'll check all of these. Make sure that these are inoperative, but usually you'll do a system check on these really quickly, and you cannot or you can test those oxygens. Okay, and that would be the, make sure that you also have that this right here is on board as well. Alright, we'll close that out now. So this is the aircraft's first flight of the day. This is probably going to be shut down from someone else, so the first thing that we're going to do is if you have ISFD, make sure that that is also down. So I'm going to show you the scan flow. So firstly, we're going to turn the battery switch to on. Usually we'll get ground power before this. Usually it's already connected, because if they connect the jetway, they're probably going to connect the ground power. Alright, so you will turn on the battery switch. Close the standby power. You'll hear that if that little noise that the standby power is off. So turn that on. Usually we turn these on beforehand anyways. In the US, these are automatic. These are just for chimes. Alright. Now once the standby power switch is on, you want to make sure that your alternate flap switches are closed and guarded. Sorry, your alternate flap master switch, which is right here. Alright, we come down more and make sure that the windshield wipers are in park. We'll turn this on here so that we have power. Alright, next we look over towards the hydraulic panel. Make sure that the electrics are off. Then we come farther down to the gear lever. Make sure that we're seeing nose, left, right, and then make sure that the gear are all green. Verify that there is no nose, left, right, red gear illuminated. Now, right here's when we turn on the power, and then make sure there's no source transfer bus off, source off, transfer bus off, source off on these. So I'll show you, if we do this, these would be illuminated, and you want to make sure that if this comes on, those extinguish. Usually you're going to have external power, but if there is no external power for APU start, then allow just about over 30 seconds between the battery turned on and APU start, and then engine APU fire switches in. Alright, next you want to alert ground personnel, so cockpit to ground. We're going to be doing a some fire tests really quickly. So that would consist of turning this over here, testing, ensuring that all these lights illuminate here, and make sure that you get them on both sides. You'll turn this over like so, and ensure that you get these two lights here. Alright, when you turn this on, quick sweep. Alright, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then down. All those lights are illuminated, good to go. You'll come upwards just a little bit more here. And the next one is these two APU. Alright, those lights illuminate. And alright, those lights also illuminate. Alright, you'll come down here, you'll test this. Make sure that's good, and then next airline calls for auto brakes being set to RTO, engines being brought up, and then the final thing is if you start the APU, you want to make sure there's a few things that aren't illuminated. Whoops, I'm all over the place. Oh my goodness, I really am all over the place here today. Alright, now let me show you what you should not want illuminated. So, also obviously emergency exit lights can come down. Actually, stand by. That's in the next part. Give me a second. Alright, make sure when you start the APU, you just, you want to be down here. Make sure that there is no first source off lights, transfer bus lights. You don't want any standby power lights off. Another thing you wouldn't want is to have an APU maintenance light. This is on the max. And none of those lights you want illuminated as well. So, and then also APU, I believe, when we're looking for that, that's up here somewhere. Yeah, it's on the max. That's for the max. My bad. Okay. Now, the next thing is you'll have your electrical power up complete. Now what you want to do is straight from off to nav on your IRSs. Verify that on DC, and then a line comes on. And then while you're upstairs, flight data recorder test, and then complete. There we go. Alright, next is ensure that you come back upstairs just for another one. I think it's the middle, yeah, it's middle upstairs, and you just turn that to on. Sure the voice recorder is on. Alright, next turn on service, and then speaker. Come down here to where you're at, test your oxygen. Alright, you'll take the mask out, click right here, and then test the oxygen. Make sure that you have noise coming out of your speaker on the mask. Once that's done, make sure that it's at good PSI for the 7.3. Come back upstairs, whoopsies, and turn these off. Alright, next is you'll come down here again, back over to your sides here, and you want to ensure, click systems down here, hydraulic quantity is good, and then also your oil quantity, you want to make sure that these are in good ranges. You can always call around, hey, can you refill our oil here? They'll also check for you, but it's also good to cross check. Alright, because sometimes they don't do it. Now, another thing that is, once you're done looking at your fuel, oil quantity, or engine and hydraulic quantity, you look right upstairs. Now, what are we looking upstairs for? We are looking upstairs at the oxygen quantity, which is up upstairs. I keep pressing that because that's the max keybind. Okay, up upstairs, oxygen quantity. And you just want to make sure that everything is good, and make sure that your PSI on the oxygen pressure here is sufficient for the 737. Usually you want it somewhere from here to here, never zero. That's when you turn this on. We're not going to do that today because there's things that have to happen if we do that. So Next we'll look over at our release here. We're landing at SNA, which is 56 in the air, but we'll get to that flow here in a second. Now, if this is a crew change, you need to look at the maintenance docs, and then you need to do flight deck access. There'd be some emergency equipment that we need to check for. So we're saying this is if you're doing a crew change. Alright, so you'll have the fire extinguisher. Make sure you have your axes. I just don't think they have the crash axe on here. Alright, and then over here you want to make sure that there's ropes. You just check, put it back to you. Make sure there's 2 of those. Make sure you have 3 life jackets. You have your PPE, you have gloves, and some FCBs. Now, emergency exit lights. You want to close those, and then come upstairs. Make sure ECCs are on. Now, upstairs again. Okay. Make sure PSEU is off. And then if you have GPS, ILS, or GLS lights, make sure those are all extinguished. Make sure that the service interphone is off. Make sure reverse on number 1, 2 is off. And then just make sure that engine control lights are also off. Alright, now you'll come downstairs to the oxygen panel. This is the pressurization panel, but you'll set this to your cruising altitude. We're cruising at 39,000 feet in the sky for a 1-hour flight, which is actually pretty good. Up and then down, and then you'll brief. So 100 will do. And then the next thing is, once again, if this is a crew change, landing gear lights are good. And then Mach 1, 2. Go test now for the stall warning test. Now this requires AC transfer buses to be on for 4 minutes. Also, flaps can droop without hydraulic power, and that means the test fails. Alright, make sure that the evacuation switch is closed. And then make sure internet ground transmit is all good. Make sure that your P6 circuit breakers are checked. Those are manual. Gear access door is closed. Your P18 control stand circuit breakers are also checked. And then make sure that the parking brake is set. Alright, once you're done with that, you'll say, alright, crew items complete. Now, this is where we do another really cool test. I've never done this on here, actually, believe it or not. Oh, it's inoperative, though. That'd be a cool test to do for the flight deck doors. Alright. Anyways, what you do is you go from normal to open to auto, and then you enter the emergency exit or the emergency access code. You make sure that there's alert sounds, and then you see auto unlock, and then you go deny, and then make sure that auto unlock extinguishes. And then what you do then is make sure you turn off the flight deck. So you'd switch that thing to unlocked, and then you turn off the flight deck access system, and then make sure that it fails, the lock fails, and then the next thing in the flight deck access system, it's not the stab trim, but it's usually right here. I think it's on the max 8 for my fly, but Anyways, what you do next is make sure all that fails and then guard down, flight deck access to normal, and that all should work. So now we have to do systems test, which is never fun, but we just basically did that. And then you will go on to test and basically just do a scan, make sure every single light is illuminated, and you'll be able to really easily see if something isn't illuminated because they're so close together. Alright, we have 4 minutes to boarding, so we'll turn on that now that we're on the plane. Turn this off, then we'll do that. We'll do lights test 1, 2, and then alright, there we go. Whoa. I gotta get those honeycombs sometime. Those look really cool. Alright, now let's say you're the first officer. We're gonna do my pre-flight that I always do anyway. So I'm gonna show you how I do this now. So everything's good. You've basically done the electrical startup. Now let's say, alright, it's time for the pre-flight. You got these alternating here. So we'll do that here in a second, but what we need to do, oh my goodness, is the flight control panel. So this is where we turn on just the yaw damper. Alright, the navigation panel, if any of this, okay, let's say your navigation panel looks something like this. Alright, you'd go normal, auto, normal, 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 and that'd be set correctly. Alright, your display panel, that's also set. Let's say, okay, it's on all 2, and then it's on control panel 1. You'll just set that back over here, and then do that like so. And then we're gonna get, oh wait, no, we don't have all of our, we haven't uploaded everything yet, and that's one thing that I am gonna do really quickly is I'm gonna upload our passengers. I'll do everything about like the zero fuel weight. I should do it now actually. Alright, so we're gonna really quickly yeah, we'll have time. Alright, wanted to get him. Now, if refueling is complete, you want to set your but usually you're not forced by anybody to get you here. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna calculate our zero fuel weight. Alright, so we're within our limitations. Our zero fuel weight is 109 and maybe higher cruising altitude, but yeah, whatever. Alright, so we'll go FS actions payload, and then from the fuel planner it's saying that our zero fuel weight is 109,385, so 109.4, and our zero fuel weight on here says about the same, so we will go ahead and put that zero fuel weight in. It's going to give us our passengers and whatnot. This isn't really how it happens in real life, but I'm trying to get us started here early. Let's just do ASIC. I love ASIC. Alright, cruise and on board. But you always do your pre-flight before you do your actual flight over. Oh, parking brake isn't set since when? I thought I already set it. Alright, there we go.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Some airlines will do that, but once you've made sure that your electrical panel is also set, and I'll show you what that is. The electrical panel is this one right here. Turn the galley on.
Departure checks completed.
Make sure this is all
5
set
has
up.
been inserted.
Then you'll come over to the APU. So, start the APU if you really want to. Usually we don't do that this early, but this is just for the vid. So make sure low oil pressure comes up. And also you want to look slightly over, make sure that your engine packs are on. Now one thing you want to do is from here, I want to look at these. Alright, now since your APU generator bus is off, you're going to click the clock to start a 2-minute timer. We're going to turn them off again and then turn this back on. And then we'll turn them on in 2 minutes, then the bleed air. Now if you have lavatory smoke indicators on your aircraft, which should be right here, if they're on here you see this. If they're not, then no. Just make sure those are turned off and extinguished. Alright, the next thing would make sure that your emergency exit lights are off. So if they're like this, click them down. Passenger signs, make sure that the no smoke is on.
Southwest 4491, contact Oakland Center on 133.7.
Yeah, we're gonna have to turn you off, little bro. Alright, we're gonna gather up a new flight here. Alright, make sure again your windshield wipers are in park. Window heats over here on the upstairs level, make sure those are turned on. Probe heat, make sure those are in auto. Wing and engine anti-ice off. And make sure that now ground, we're pressurizing electrics, turn is off, B system on. Your next part here is your air conditioning panel. Confirm it's been 2 minutes. It's only been a minute, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up upstairs. Just kill me. Come up upstairs. I think this is how we do it here. Yep. Alright. Alright, it's been 2 minutes. We'll stop the clock. We'll come downstairs. 1, 2, bleed. Ground power. We'll flick it off and we'll turn that back on. Flick it off. Over here. Release. And cockpit to ground, you guys can disconnect the GPU and air conditioning. Alright, now for the fuel, I always use my planar fuel. That's better than using whatever it's gonna give you from SimBreathe, because sometimes it's it depends. You might have some contingencies that you may need. And there is also some maximum plans that we could get into, but we're not going to.
Alaska 1175, contact Oakland Center on 119.475.
Alright, there we go.
Oakland Center on 119.475.
We're not on to there
Alaska
just yet,
1175.
but we'll be there very shortly. And hold on, let me make sure. Just make sure that my radio is set on the radio check. Just go over to here for now, because then we're going to have to copy down the ATIS, which we'll do right now actually. So
Sacramento International Airport, information whiskey.
alright, whiskey
2153 Zulu. Wind 305 at 5. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, broken at 5,000 feet. Temperature 32. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3000. Density altitude 1900 feet. Arriving and departing runways 17 left, 17 right. Advise on initial contact. You have information whiskey. Sacramento International Airport, information whiskey. 2153
Okay.
Zulu. Wind 305 at 5.
Just
Visibility
needed...
10.
Alright.
Sky conditions, broken at 25.
Alright, so the information is winds 305 at 15, visibility 10, VREF plus 10. Information whiskey 2153 Zulu, broken at 25 3 2.1 32 over 11 for the temperature, 17 left departing and arriving, 17 right, Bravo 14 is our gate advised. Info whiskey. Okay, HS card is complete. Alright, now that you've written all that down, all that dumb jargon, make sure that your landing panel is set up. What that means is these lights over here, make sure these are off, and the only thing that's on right now is this, and in some cases you'll have to turn on your logo lights. Alright, make sure your air conditioning panel is set. So, packs on, recirculation fan on. Alright, cabin pressurization 39,000, that's already set. Now that's good. Next in the flow is ignition left. If there's ever a crew change, that's when you'll go right. Alright, engine start switches will go off. Next, your lighting panel, ensure a logo. This is on this side. Logo on. Whoops. Steady. Anti-collision off. Wing wheel well off. There we go. That's all set. Alright. Next is... do you even know what runway you're taking off from? That's where you probably already have your clearance. So we're going to go clearance delivery today, and we're going to get our clearance. So, Southwest 418, looking to pick up IFR over to SNA John Wayne, Orange County Airport.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
Let's see.
Southwest 418, Capital clearance. Clear to John Wayne via the Foothill 3 departure. Then as filed, climb and maintain 3000. Expect flight level 390 minutes after departure. Departure on 127.4, squawk 5562. Expect runway 17 left.
45562 17 left. Alright, Southwest 418, clear to John Wayne via the Foothill 3 departure, then as filed, climb and maintain 3000, expect 390 minutes after departure, departure on 127.4, squawk 5562, expect runway 17 left, Southwest 418. Alright, you'll set this, set your MCP, and then your course is going to be runway heading, so 168.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Southwest Airlines Flight 418
Yeah.
to John Wayne. We're thrilled to have you with us.
Alright.
Please take your seats according to your boarding passes. And don't forget to stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any help, just give us a shout, and we'll be right there for you.
Alright.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Now this is basically everything else.
Lead flight attendant.
ASMF, firstly, init ref index, identify 24,700, AREC is good. Tomorrow ends the AREC actually. Alright, over here, SMF, and then we're gonna try Bravo 14. If it doesn't work, then Cook not doing all that. Last position is what you really put that in. Usually the GPS left will come over here. GPS left. Whoop. Sorry, FMC index.
Capital clearing. Vision jet 050 Sierra Bravo with information Charlie.
Well,
ready to copy.
we'll be slightly to the left if we go
to Oscar Quebec
You don't really need to put this on because the oh wait, let me go over some peace and quiet really quickly. You don't ever really need to put this on here, your flight, because it already knows your tail number in real life. So we'll set just the route, since we've already got our fuel uploaded. Just cross-check that as well. Alright, we're cleared 17 left by the 5th hill departure here. 5th hill 3. So one thing is, there's an executable action. You don't want to do any of that here. So once you're on the position initialize page here. Alright, now we're on the route page. So request, and then make sure that you enter the runway. So you'll load this. Don't activate the route, because that's an executable action. After that, you'll go taking off 17 left. So I think we're already done loading up here. Not yet. Alright, so 17 left. Enter the runway. Now on your flight plan it's gonna say, alright, FRA and then D or Arberg. Make sure that's on there, and if that's on there, then you're good to go, besides your arrival or departure. Alright, once you have verified the route, activate it. I go back over to number 1 and you should see route copy, but we can't do that today. So you're always going to probably use line select 6 right here. Go to route. I think this is only a feature on, yep, right, alternate destination. If you ever need that, you can come back and do that, but you're gonna click request on this, maybe take a little break here on your performance initialize. So you're going to take this. So let me close the flight deck door. Alright, you're gonna load this performance. Alright, make sure that you're gonna cross-check this really quickly. So if your top of climb matches pretty much what you're doing, then yep. Alright, this is an executable action, so usually you'll be able to just do this. Yeah, that's not modeled. Okay, 4.0. We're cruising at flight level 390, just good to go there. And all of this pretty much matches what I've put in, except for the cost index, I think. Our cost index is actually 74. Okay. Alright, so now usually you'll just go right here and do some takeoff performance data. So we'll come over to the OPT, and then we'll calculate import from OFP. Alright, 17 left, dispatching as dry, import from the aircraft, or just slightly above what we dispatched as. Alright, so we'll use an SCL of 127 Fahrenheit, which if we convert that to Celsius, that's going to be 52.7, so we're going to do 53. Make sure that your selected is your engine rating, and if you need to, you can derate however you need to. So control 1, and then our QNH is 2997 now, so we're gonna write this down. Alright, so alright, and then take off 1, want to come back downstairs, we'll go over to the takeoff page number 2. Make sure that all this is good on for VNAV here, and then your runway slope should already be in there. Your runway winds are variable at 04, so you do 000. Alright, now what does your OPT say for flaps? Flaps are 1. Now, alright, let's say you just got your load sheet, your center of gravity's plugged in. Alright, we're gonna do our own here that our OPT gives us. So 128, you'll put your V speeds in, 128, 129, and then 132. Alright, this is gonna trigger the Love Cars announcement. Not that I have anything to do with it. Alright, we're gonna close that out. And just make sure our door closes.
We will serve complimentary soft drinks, juice, and coffee.
Alright.
Beer, wine, and liquor are also available for purchase.
We'll set up
There is a
our
beverage
minimums.
menu in the back pocket, or you may go to the Southwest beverage menu on the in-flight entertainment portal at
And then the next part
where these options are displayed. This
is
aircraft is
left to
Wi-Fi
right now.
free.
So
Enjoy our free TV
climb.
options. Internet service
Make sure that this all checks out. Cruise. If you have a VNAV in the max, then you just do VNAV and left to right. So we're going left to right here. 390, no step climb. That looks good. And then descent. It's just a very high speed descent here. And we're gonna do 280 knots for our descent. That's usually what we'll do. Alright, now what we'll do here is we'll go over to the forecast and now we'll press this request. Usually it takes really long in the actual plane, but in the flight sim it goes pretty quickly.
Please let us know right now so we can repeat you. So that we may push back from the
If you have a TAF, you can put the QNH in the descent here, and that's usually on your briefing here. So the QNH from the TAF is 29.98, and then that's executable action.
Please stow them under the seat in front of you. Thank you for choosing Southwest Airlines. Welcome aboard.
And then once you put that on there, we'll finally start uploading everything else here in a second. But there's one more thing that we have to do, and that is our next forecast, and that's the leg page. Now most legs are gonna have an RMP of 1.0 for your SID. Go here, and now you probably will have your departure clearance of 5th L3 via Frank, and then make sure that there's no route discontinuities. And then it's giving us a dispatch of 27 center, but we're not going to plug that in yet until we're fairly clear of where we're going to land here. So we're taken down to the runway, down to Orange County is the OSHA 3 by Reberg, O'Shea 3 by the Reberg. There we go. So you'll go legs, route data, winds request, and then those will start to come in. Alright, you can load them now. It's pretty much, you don't need to think about it, you just execute it. And then your forecasts will start to uplink, not just from your cruise and descent winds that you uplink, they'll all begin to uplink. Now we can check our forecasts, make sure they're here, and then load them. and then go back over to legs, route data, and then now that we have our descent winds, we want to just request this again. It's totally my fault. Alright, then you just gotta wait for them to uplink. Once your cruise wind uplink is ready, you can just do that, and then whenever ready, you have the scratch pad. You'll be good now. This is where the captain, if you're doing captain flows, this is where the captain would come into the plane. Alright, he's gonna firstly look, the first place he's gonna look is usually is EFIS. So the captain usually just makes sure everything is set. So it's gonna set the EFIS. Cruise winds. Just close. Alright. Yeah, there we go. It's very odd that they don't work on here. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna do this again. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. I'm a little slow. We're gonna do the 6th list instead of the 6 right, 6 left. Okay. And then we'll go down to the captain flows. I'm an idiot sometimes. Alright. Load. There we go. Alright. And then, once you see uplink, execute. Usually you'd wait for them to pop up, but usually just depends. So the uplink is ready. Just clear that out, and then eventually they'll pop up. But since we have such a short cruise today and we're not doing a long cruise, we're probably only gonna have descent winds and just very short cruise winds, which, as always, if we go to forecast, we'll load these during our descent preparation. Alright, on to the captain here. Verify the fuel. It's the first place he's gonna look. Then he's gonna set up his EFIS. If I'm the pilot flying, he'll put terrain on. And I'm just gonna ensure that I also set 5562. There we go. We'll put ourselves on the TARA. And then I'll put myself over here on my side to weather. After that, we'd both click traffic at some point. Probably at the same time, maybe. Alright. Then after that, he's gonna just do a quick scan to flow. So the MCP, whoops, gotta set that to 132 plus 2, so 140 plus 20 is 152. Alright, turn both of these on. And now you can finally arm both LNAV and VNAV if you have both on. Alright, so see if I can do mine now. No, we need the captain's one on. even though he's not flying. Alright, anyways, we'll both turn those on. The display select, make sure that these are all correct, make sure nothing's down there. He'll look at the nose wheel steering. He'll look at his clocks, make sure they're set to GMT. He'll make sure the speed brake lever is down, gears pulled down, make sure the ILS is aligned and there are no IRS alignment issues. Probably set this up to there. Alright, speed brake lever. He's going to physically push that. Pull, push, make sure it's closed. You got to pull it up, pull it back, and then kind of like that. Make sure there's no stabilizer out of trim lights. He's going to look down here now. Make sure the AP disengage test was completed. And then next what he's going to look at is his forward thrust levers. Make sure that they're closed. So basically these forward thrusts, make sure that they're all the way back. The reverse thrust is down. Make sure the flap lever is set to be, parking brake is also set. Engine start levers check, look and verify that they're cut off. And then stab trim cutoffs are also in the normal position and the guards closed. Make sure that the actual nav radios or whatever are set. Since we're going on for an air-to-air of 1 hour-ish minutes, but we don't know if we're doing a landing or ever yet, we're just gonna wait on that. So not gonna set any of that now. The stab trim are set to cut off trims. Make sure those are all good. Seatbelts. Make sure that his seat and seatbelt is all good, and then just verify the flight plan. What that means is he's gonna go to legs. So legs, scroll through, make sure everything matches our thing here, which I'm hoping it does. Now over here, make sure that the route looks about good, the fuel is good, and then over here, if we come over here, oh my goodness, where is it? Usually we use this via ACART, so we'll report pre-flight. That's how it's done. And then you can also usually do progress reports once you're at cruise or whatever. But we're reporting pre-flight here. Now nav status, stand by 1 second. Just make sure that all of our distances look good. SNA, no egregious mistakes like SNA is 1 million miles away. And once that's done, pre-flight is complete. Now since I'm the pilot flying, I'm going to give you guys a briefing here. So this is what the standard briefing will look like. So we're parked here at a Bravo 14. We have a standard push and start over to runway 17 left and taxi over there. We are information whiskey. Performance card calculated for runway runway 17 left is flaps 1. Runway's dry, but we're doing full length, so it's dry, anti-ice off. The thrust is takeoff 1 rating here, so something you'd want to cross check really quickly. Takeoff speeds are gonna get deleted. Alright, 127. Where the hell did my... Oh goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. There's my checklist. Where'd my clipboard go? Okay. Alright, 128. I was like, doesn't look like we're gonna get 128, 129, then 132. Alright, sorry about that. Alright. Sorry. Alright, thrust will be TO1 with a SCL 53 over 33. Now for an N1 of 87.1. That's on the TMA. We're doing. This is gonna be a flaps 1 takeoff. The speeds V1 at 128, rotate at 129, and V2 at 132, and MCP is configured with V2 plus 20 knots. Prior to 80 knots, I will reject for any malfunction above 80 knots. Above 80 knots, I will reject for fire warning, or engine failure, predictive
Delta
wind shear,
363, contact Oakland Center on 119.475. Over to Oakland Center on 119.475, challenge Delta 3.
or if the aircraft is unsafe or unstable to fly. In the event of a malfunction before V1, I will reject. I will call reject or call continue. What else is there? If the call is reject, I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disengage the auto throttle, and apply maximum max braking. Verify RTO auto brake, raise the speed brake, then apply reverse thrust to bring the aircraft to stop on the runway. You should verify my actions by calling speed brake up or not up as required. Confirm and call reverse thrust. Announce auto brake disarm if displayed, and then call any omissions. I will call 60 knots. Advise ATC. And I also expect you to set the parking brake and advise the cabin as required. We will continue the failure and action any memory items and checklists as filed or as required. Alright. Now push and start flow. We get the final load sheet, and we're just gonna cross-check all that. We don't need that. You don't even get a load sheet, unfortunately. Now the push flow. This is how it's gonna work. So if we're ready for push back, we're gonna do the before start checklist to the line. Make sure that the cabin leader and cabin is ready. All doors are closed. Ground power is removed. The bridge is clear, and that's all good. All right. So how this would work is confirm ground to cockpit. The captain's gonna do this one. Ground to cockpit. Can you just cockpit to ground? Can you just confirm that the pre-departure checks are complete? Ground's gonna be pre-departure checks are complete. Alright, that's when we request push and start here. And this would be how you would do something like that. One over here. Then the ground on 121.7. And they call this one capital, so we're gonna go with that. So nothing sounds out of the ordinary. Wait about 5 seconds. Capital ground. Good afternoon, Southwest 418 Information Whiskey Gate Bravo 14, requesting push and start. So you do it, and then
Push and start approved. Taxi to runway 17 left via B14.
AI, am I right? What the fuck is this guy? What is this guy even yapping about? Alright, here we go. We'll focus. No way. Oh yeah, we're in Sacramento. Alright, we'll call ground.
Locking gear.
Alright, we want to push. Alright, push and start approved. Southwest 418. Okay. I'll do this real quick now. I really fucked up here. Where's our runway? We want our nose to the left, tail to the right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Alright, now that you have this, the pre-start checklist would go
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at
flight
will.
deck door closed and locked, anti-collision light comes on. Set the fuel
Kendall,
panel.
the cabin is ready for departure.
There we go, and we got the cabin ready. And then clear push, and then cockpit to ground, confirm steering, lockout been installed, ready for pushback. Release brakes, alright, brake release, cockpit to ground, and commencing push.
And the first officer is Captain Canada.
Alright, here we go. For the engine start, we just passed the line. It's kinda hot outside, so what we'll do, come upstairs, left
Now let's
one.
talk safety for a moment.
Alright, captain's gonna
Please ensure
call
your
start
seatbelts are
number
fastened in
1,
tight
starting
before
number
you shoe
1.
To unbuckle, just lift the
We're gonna
button.
look downstairs.
In the unlikely event of a sudden loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop down. from
Alright,
below.
oil pressure, now we're gonna wait for
Once
20%
flow of
into.
oxygen, place it over your nose, mouth, and secure it with the elastic band. Remember to put your mask on first
Alright.
before helping others.
Adding fuel number
If we need to
1.
use the life vests, they're located under your seats. To use them, pull them out, slip it over your head, and pull the straps to tighten. Inflate it by pulling the red tabs or blow into the tubes if you need more air.
This is the first flight of the day. We'll,
luggage behind, folks.
alright,
Safety
this
is our priority.
bar.
Now we've got
Please set
exit
parking brakes.
front, middle, and rear of the aircraft. Please take a moment to locate the
Setting
nearest
parking
exit,
brakes.
which may be behind you.
Waiting your confirmation for a good
39,000
engine
feet
start.
today. The estimated flight time is about 1 hour and 15 minutes. After our meal service, we'll be coming
Alright.
around some articles from Southwest shops. So keep an eye
Now
out for
we're
that.
gonna
Thanks for flying.
confirm that the lights are out.
Just give us
Hits
a
up to
shout.
500. Lights out. And then roll back. And now it's rolling back. There we go. Okay, starting number 2.
Your seat back and tray table are in the full upright and locked position, and your carry-on items are completely under the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. Leaving
Alright,
the
here we
area
go.
on the seat clear. Smoking
Here we
is not allowed
go.
on board, including the
Oil
lavatory.
pressure,
The
adding
use and
fuel
charging
number
of
2.
electronic cigarettes is prohibited. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying any smoke detector in an aircraft lavatory. It is also prohibited to consume alcohol that you have brought with you on this flight. Federal aviation regulations require passenger compliance with the lighted passenger information sign, posted placards, and crew member instructions, including information on seat
Alright.
smoking. Needed. 4 oxygen masks will drop from a compartment
Doing reduced
overhead.
takeoff
To
here.
activate the flow of oxygen, hold down on the
Alright.
mask until the plastic tubing
Lights
is
out.
extended. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally.
Roll
Secure the
back,
mask
good
with
engine
the elastic
start.
strap. Although oxygen will be
Alright, I'm just gonna do my flow
We have a
here.
good engine start.
Alright,
You can disconnect.
captain's gonna say flaps 1, gonna pull flaps 1, and then close that out. Then I'm gonna go
Put
1,
it on your mask first.
2.
Please remove any face coverings before donning an oxygen mask. We are here for your comfort and safety.
Now that both engines are on, I'm gonna start the clock for the warm up.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy your 1 hour and 25 minutes flight to Santa Ana. Welcome aboard.
Installation valve auto, and then confirm the lower DU is blank, and then wheel well lights come off, logo stay on.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Checked. Alright, flight control checks. Down, up, right, left. Right, okay. Before taxi checklist. Generators on. Probe heat on. Captain does that. Anti-ice off. Flight controls free. Flaps. CD1 indicates 1 and green light. Before taxi checklist complete. Southwest 418 requesting a taxi to runway 17 left. Alright. I forgot to do the welcome aboard announcement, but I might as well do it now. It's too late. Fuck it, they already got it from the
Taxi to runway 17 left via B14.
Bravo 14. Well, that's not, how are we gonna attack? Okay, well we're gonna have to taxi our own discretion then. 17 left via Yankee. Left turn Delta. Alright, we'll taxi to runway 17 left via Yankee, left turn Delta. Delta 1, Southwest 418. No way. V-speeds are active, right?
Cabin crew take seats for departure.
Yep. And then we're gonna try to do a rolling here, but be careful for that aircraft in front. Oh, they already got out. Oh no, they didn't. I was about to say. They already got out, so we can't do a rolling here, but that's good for us. So, flaps 1, so this would be me now. Flaps 1, V-speed set, flaps 1 set auto throttle. 3000 set LNAV, VNAV armed. And then we do our before takeoff checklist. Alright, before takeoff checklist, minimum takeoff fuel, verified departure plane not required. Attendant notification. And then me again doing my thing here. Completed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been cleared for departure. Enjoy your flight.
And now this, you must do that thing before entering the runway here. We'll stop the clock just before we enter here, since they're leaving. Then the captain. Alright, runway 17 left, confirm. Intersection Delta 3. Over the tower.
United 1035, contact departure.
Alright, they just got out of
Over to
here.
departure, United 1035.
Southwest 418, short of Delta 3, looking to depart runway 17 left. Alright, data confirmed.
Southwest 418, Capital Tower, runway 17 left, wind 340 at 4. RNAV 5th Hill, cleared for takeoff.
RNAV 5th Hill, runway 17 left, cleared for takeoff, Southwest 418. Alright, here we go, up, up, up. Alright, command, your side. Actually, wait. Alright, LNAV, VNAV still armed. Clear left. Clear left.
Clear right.
Alright, thank you, Rochelle. Alright, here we go. So we're gonna start this turn here. We're gonna spool up those engines. Whoa, back down, back down, back down. Sure, auto throttle is on.
Citation 433 Mike Whiskey, taxi to holding point runway 13 via taxiway Alpha. Taxiing to holding point runway 13 via Alpha, citation 433 Mike Whiskey.
Alright, over to me, over to me.
We're
Okay,
trying
you're
to maintain
useless.
4,000 feet. We expect flight level
takeoff
340, 10 minutes after departure.
Takeoff
Departure is on 125.25, squawk 3132, and we are expecting 17 right.
Ace 352, read back correct.
80 knots, checked. .100, roll out.
V1.
V1,
Rotate.
rotate, V2.
Good break.
Gears coming up. Alright, then you go command.
Mooney 9024 Foxtrot Delta, clear to land runway 31. Clear to land runway 31, Mooney 9024 Foxtrot Delta.
Okay, throttle arm and one.
Southwest 418, contact departure.
Speed's dropping, alright. Contact departure, Southwest 418. Keep an eye on that speed over to departure. 125, 125, even though that's not what they give us. SoCal departure, Southwest 418, climbing 3000 at 2000. Alright. Once you're crossing the up speed,
Southwest 418, NorCal departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain flight
Flaps
level
up,
340,
speed.
direct Fit Hill.
alright, and flaps up. Alright, he said 340, direct Fifth Hill. Climb and maintain flight level 340, direct Fifth Hill, Southwest 418. 2997.
Southwest 418, climb and maintain flight level 210.
It's just a climb and maintain flight level 210, Southwest 418. I don't know why I would say that. Alright, we departed on time. And that would be it, basically. Do not give me a fucking RA. Okay. Now, once you're climbing through 5, first off, just gonna come over here. We don't have this bullshit in the way. And then add 1 limit, speed, add 1 limit, and we're going to get rid of climb 2.
American 778 cleared for RNAV approach, runway 18, maintain 170 knots until 5 mile final.
Cleared RNAV approach 18, 170 until 5, American 778.
Once you're through that,
Clearance on request, stand by.
1 Hotel, Roger, that copy is filed, appreciate it.
you're able to get up to
NorCal
10,000.
approach, UPS 2956, 6000.
UPS 2956, radar contact.
Departure, American 464, 2000 for 4000.
American 464, radar contact. Climb and maintain 11, 1000.
Up to 11, 1000, American 464.
And you will get to 10,000 feet. You'll cross-check that. Once you're there, gears come off.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Southwest 418, climb and maintain flight level 280.
Alright, you get that clearance.
Over to NorCal departure on 125.25, Oval American 464.
Oh, they
United
just
2409er, contact Oakland Center on
That's crazy. I didn't know that they
127.95.
had that. That's crazy.
Switching to Oakland Center on 127.95, United 2409er.
Alright, climb and maintain flight level 280 Southwest 418.
American 464, radar contact.
FedEx 1243, have your approach descend and maintain 4000 clear to direct Cobham join 27 localizer.
Descending to 4000 direct Cobham, joining 27 localizer 1243.
Alright. Now that you're still climbing here. Now once you're basically above and this is no longer needed, weather and terrain, turn those off.
United 1244 cleared the visual 27.
Next.
Cleared for the visual 27, United 1244.
After that,
Climb and maintain flight level 320, American 2450.
you'll climb.
132.905, American 2450.
Cirrus 216 Delta Kilo, NorCal departure, roger.
And then you'll also make sure that you clean up the plane. Your climb checklist is as follows.
Southwest 418, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Flight level 340 for Southwest 418. Alright. Pressurization 100 is our altitude for John Wayne, and 390 is where we're at, so checked in. Start switches off and APU off. Climb checklist complete.
Southwest 418, contact Oakland Center on 121.25.
Oakland Center on 121.25, Southwest 418. So now we're getting into a high level flight information regional, or region, and then wait, alright. 18,000 standard set. And once that's there, you go like this, and that, and boom. Now once you're at the transition, you just set standard, and this is the standard set. And then the last flow here is once you're at flight level 200, just verify your flight parameters and flight directors off.
United 2862, contact San Francisco approach on 128.325.
Alright.
Switching to San Francisco approach on 128.325, United 2862.
Flight level 200. Flight parameters is you're climbing steadily, you're not losing airspeed. And that's all there, and then what we'll do over here is we'll check.
American 789, descend and maintain flight level 270. Descending to flight level 270, American 789. Vision Jet 6 Alpha Tango, roger. Report level at 15,000.
So that's that.
Report level at 15,000, Vision Jet 6 Alpha
basically,
Tango.
Vision Jet 6
That's
Alpha
it.
Tango, contact Oakland Center on 126.85.
I can't wait to use my actual mic soon.